The manhwa commences with barbarians setting houses ablaze and slaying villagers. As the villagers flee, an individual bravely approaches the marauders. Simultaneously, a woman implores a barbarian for mercy, entreating, "Kindly spare me. Please, spare the child, if anything." The barbarian responds, "Shall I? We're withdrawing anyway." He persists, "No, it's too loud, so perish." The barbarian, intending to strike down the woman and child, swings his sword, but his arm is abruptly severed and falls to the ground. Bewildered, he inquires about his lost arm, accompanied by a piercing scream of pain. Subsequently, the barbarian identifies the individual responsible for severing his limb, exclaiming, "You bastard! You are Gwiyoung." Gwiyoung proceeds to sever the barbarian's head. Among the barbarians, encountering Gwiyoung signifies inevitable demise. He is viewed as a figure akin to the Grim Reaper. GWI stands for ghost, and Young in Hanja means shadow. Essentially, he is known as Gwiyoung, signifying ghost's shadow. Let's aim for 1,000 likes on this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Sejong comments, if they label him the ghost shadow among those barbarians, could he not be an exceedingly formidable ally? The village chief inquires, but what's the use? We were defenseless when the barbarians raided, claiming a month was too distant. Life in the northern region is a perpetual hell. Come winter, it's either freezing to death or falling prey to barbarians. I don't know if His Majesty is genuinely unaware or feigning ignorance. Likely, he deems this region a cursed land, forsaken by the nation. In an unexpected turn, Sejong faces a sudden attack from a child, thwarted by Sunmung. Sunmung questions, "What do you think you're doing? Do you want to die?" The enraged child retorts, "How dare a Yangban bastard like you act so hypocritically, showing up only after it's all over?" Sunmung warns, "That's quite a vulgar mouth. I'll have to cut off that tongue." Sejong intervened, stating, "No, it's fine. The child isn't at fault." However, their conversation was disrupted as the child addressed his sister Dongi, exclaiming, "Stop trying to stop me. Let go. I said, let go. Don't you find it disgusting?" Dongi apologized, saying, "I apologize, milord." This left Sejong in a state of confusion. The village chief elucidated, those children lost their entire family to the barbarians 7 years ago. The entire village was decimated in one night, and it seems the children have struggled to find their place anywhere since. They've been wandering around, here and there. Sejong conveyed his concern, stating, "Oh dear." The village chief added, "And that's not all. The woman over there became a widow last year, losing her husband to those bastards. Now, she has lost her only son to them as well. Conversely, those children lost their mother 2 summers ago and have now lost their father too. Every time a village is plundered, countless children are left orphaned in such a manner." Sejong realized, the situation is much more severe than I thought. We must expedite the formation of the informer, locate Gwiyoung immediately. Subsequently, numerous villagers gathered in front of the notice board. Conversing among themselves, one of them inquired, "What does that say?" The second person asked, "Does anyone here know how to read characters?" They lamented, "The nation has posted a notice for a change, but the people are mostly illiterate, damn it." A person in the crowd attempted to decipher the notice but struggled to understand its contents. Sunmung approached and explained, "Gwiyoung, the notice says the king is seeking Gwiyoung and plans to award him a jade plaque. His Majesty's royal bodyguards are being assembled, and they intend to transfer Gwiyoung there." One of the gathered individuals inquired, "Jade plaque? Isn't that where you can secure something good without needing to take a test?" Another person remarked, "If it's the king's bodyguard, then it's not just Myeonkian, it's a chance to shape your destiny, isn't it?" Sunmung inquired, "Gwiyoung is quite renowned in this northern region. Is there anything you know about him?" One person remarked, "If you mention Gwiyoung, there are rumors circulating." Another individual added, "But has anyone actually laid eyes on him?" Granny Jiang from the Undertown claims she has. She mentioned his stature being over 2 cheoks. A woman interjected, "Oh, come on, what are you talking about? I heard he resembles a hunchback monster." Anyway, Gwiyoung is a mysterious figure, elusive to others. They say he engages in slaughter out of anger, and we're not even certain if he restricts it to the barbarians. Sunmung commented, "So there's no concrete information about him. How unfortunate. It's a chance to transform your life." Meanwhile, an observer from a distance approached a nearby hut to have a meal. As he settled, a woman came over, asking, "What would you like?" The person responded, "Give me a bowl of tokju." Just then, Tail intervened, suggesting, "Bring 2 bowls, let's share the table, would that be alright?" The person pointed out, "There are many empty tables, though, Tail insisted, this is the only place. I want to sit, is that answer enough? The person questioned, do you have any business with me? Tail replied, you're Gwiyoung, aren't you? The person inquired, yes? Why do you think that? Tail recounted a year ago, mentioning that he had encountered the person vaguely, as the distinction between Yangban and Chanman was unclear to barbarians. Tail asserted that, although you might not recall, but you had rescued me then and I have been searching for you ever since. Gwiyoung refuted Tail's assertion, denying having done such an act and believing Tail had mistaken him for someone else. Tail acknowledged the possibility of error but questioned if Gwiyoung knew about the belief that vengeful spirits of those they had killed haunt them. He shared that his father had informed him, revealing that the selection of His Majesty's bodyguards aimed to subdue the barbarians in the northern region, forming a special force organized by the king himself. Gwiyoung questioned Tail's certainty about the Jurchens, and Tail affirmed it as a well-established fact. He clarified that both he and his father had been working to subdue those responsible for his mother's death the previous year. Tail speculated that Gwiyoung must harbor his own grudge and reason due to the barbarian slaughter. He suggested walking together on a path to eliminate the barbarian's bloodline, extending material and emotional support to aid Gwiyoung in his mission. Gwiyoung inquired of Tail, what's your name? Tail responded, I must have been carried away. I am from the Tay family. I'm Tail. While drinking a bowl of wine, Gwiyoung stated, you may even die because of me. If you're willing, then I will follow you. Tail retorted, do you think I've come searching for you without being willing to die, Gwiyoung? The scene then shifted to a government office where a child declared, no, sir. I'm that Gwiyoung. He urged his sister, hey, Dongi, hurry up and say something already. You don't even believe me. Sejong inquired, what's all this noise? Old man explained, have you come, sir? That crazy child is claiming to be Gwiyoung. Not only that, all these people are asserting that they are Gwiyoung. Since no one clearly knows who Gwiyoung is, it seems people have gathered due to His Majesty's jade plaque, which has the potential to change their lives. Sejong stated, it's apparent they're just ragtags at first glance, but do you genuinely believe the real Gwiyoung is among them? The old man responded, well, probably. Just then, Tail arrived at the government office, urging, please clear the way. Passing through. I've come after hearing that you're looking for Gwiyoung. I come together with Gwiyoung while pointing at him. A person from the gathered crowd questioned, that fellow's Gwiyoung? Do you have evidence? I'm Gwiyoung, you big mouths. Tail stated, how interesting. You're Gwiyoung? When I don't even see anything from you? Sejong do. Inquired, the one called the Ghost's Shadow, are you Gwiyoung? Tail affirmed that's correct, Your Excellency, he has personally witnessed Gwiyoung. Gwiyoung then questioned, let me ask you, is the actual goal of forming the king's bodyguards to create a special force to subjugate the barbarians is true? I believe that the responsibility for the ongoing conflict between Joseon and Jurchen lies within this nation. It has been several decades already. Previous king, by expressing hostility towards Jurchen, initiated this destructive cycle. In response, Jurchen has made efforts to appear favorable to Joseon. However, what actions has the current king of this nation taken? I believe the root of this problem lies in the neglect of the king of this nation. Tail exclaimed, look here. Just what exactly are you saying right now? Sejong stated, what a sophist. However, you aren't completely wrong either. Even still, are you planning on turning away from the responsibility of correcting the past? Whatever the past may be, the actions taken now are important. And Joseon has never given up on this northern region. Gwiyoung retorted, don't make me laugh. If you want to speak up for Joseon, then tell the king to come right here, right now, and say that with his own lips. Tail intervened, Gwiyoung, stop. Sejong explained, so, isn't that why I'm telling you? Coming here, himself, with his own lips, making all the people confused. As people asked each other, one said, what? He's who? Another said, so, he's the king. A third stated, I think that's what I heard too. Consequently, the entire gathered crowd knelt before him, saying sire, except Gwiyoung. Tail urged, look here, Gwiyoung. What are you doing right now? Kneel. At that moment, a woman entered, informing the guard, she has come after seeing the notice. She heard they were searching for Gwiyoung. She personally saw Gwiyoung. The guard inquired, have you seen Gwiyoung? The woman affirmed, yes, when the barbarians barged in last night, Gwiyoung himself saved me and my child. Her expression turned worried as she noticed someone in front. Sejong questioned, what's the matter? The old man explained, it appears there is a survivor from last night's massacre. She seems to have come to find Gwiyoung. Meanwhile, the woman cowered on the ground out of fear, exclaiming, Why is there a barbarian here? How did a demon-like fellow? The guard intervened, asking, what are you saying right now? That man is Gwiyoung. The woman insisted, I saw it clearly amongst the barbarians. That man was ripping apart and killing people of Joseon. Tail addressed Gwiyoung, stating, look here, Gwiyoung, what is that woman saying, right? The Gwiyoung declared, my name is Makan, and I am a barbarian. I am quite lucky. I have come to catch Gwiyoung if what you say is true, then Gwiyoung alone isn't the problem. King of Joseon, Sejong do. I will kill you today and I will unify Jurchen. Tail questioned, what are you saying right now? The Makan asserted, I'm sure I told you, Tail, that you may die because of me. Someone rushed to attack Makan, stating, how dare such a crazy fellow like you, on Joseon soil. However, he was instantly killed by Makan, leaving the onlookers frozen in fear. Meanwhile, someone urged, what are you doing? Run at him together. However, Makan systematically killed them one after another. Tail, with serious injuries lying on the ground, pondered, why was I so stupid? Why didn't I realize that the spirits on him are all vindictive spirits from the people of Joseon? The old man instructed, escort the king, Isunmong. Where's Isunmong? The guard responded, he's outside per His Majesty's order. The Makan questioned, where do you think you're off to, the man who calls himself king? The child from before asked the guard, let me borrow this for a bit and snatched the guard's spear. Makan charged to kill Sejong do, declaring, apologize to my fellow countrymen in the afterlife. Die, King of Joseon. Makan was struck by a spear, and child stated, wow. I was aiming for an instant death though. Dongi, it's like you said. He's quite good, for a barbarian, while casually kicking the spear. The Makan demanded, how dare you? Who are you, you bastard? Meanwhile, the child skillfully twirled the spear that had pierced the Makan, causing him to cough blood. Sejong do said, you're that child? But was interrupted when the child declared, who am I? Just how many times do I have to tell you that I'm Gwiyoung? Tail thought while observing the child, there he was. The real Gwiyoung. Wounded Makan knelt on the ground and asked, are you the real Gwiyoung? Gwiyoung responded, yes, how many times do I have to tell you? I am Gwiyoung. You're the fake. The Makan, breaking the spear and stood up, stating, nice timing. You are the enemy of the Jurchens. I came here to kill you. Die with the king. Suddenly, Gwiyoung punched the barbarian in the face, causing him to briefly lose consciousness. Gwiyoung stated, you talk too much. You're likely to die in an instant, as he kicked the Makan, pushing him backward. Realizing Gwiyoung was stronger and that he had no chance, Makan saw an opening and attempted to attack Sejong do. However, Isunmong appeared in front of Makan and cut his hand. Isunmong questioned, what's going on? Did you do this? The old man present at the scene asked Isunmong, what took you so long? Don't you know how dangerous the situation is? Isunmong replied, I was just following His Majesty's orders. The old man warned, you should keep this in mind. We're not going to just let this go. Sejong do intervened, saying, you mustn't kill him. There are many things we need to hear from this man. Do not take his life. Sunmong agreed, saying, yes, Your Majesty, I will do as you say. In the moment, Makan was pierced by a broken spear thrown by Gwiyoung. Rushing forward, Gwiyoung struck Makan's face, causing him to fall to the ground. Gwiyoung continued to hit him, shouting, die, you barbarian, die, leaving the onlookers confused. Isunmong intervened, questioning Gwiyoung's sanity and reminding him of the Majesty's orders to spare Makan's life. Gwiyoung responded, pointing out the hellish situation before them, the hell created by Makan and the hell he had endured countless times. He recounted the burning of his village, the slaughter of his people, and the deaths of his parents at the hands of these barbarians. Gwiyoung expressed disbelief at the idea of sparing their lives instead of tearing them apart. Dongi, his sister, pleaded for him to stop, expressing fear. Gwiyoung hesitated but continued to argue. Sejong do questioned, what are you doing? Gwiyoung pleaded, you should have seen my talent. Please give me a position and use me as you please. Please give my sister Dongi a chance to start a new life. Sejong do responded, being granted a position and becoming one of my men. Is it all because of your sister? Gwiyoung affirmed, in a hellhole like this, he at least wants his sister to live a normal life. Sejong do concluded he disapproves, and Gwiyoung asked why. He questioned if it was because of his earlier disobedience to the Majesty's orders or his attempt to punch him. Sejong clarified that it was neither of those reasons but Gwiyoung's attempt to join, solely for his sister, leading to his disapproval. Gwiyoung inquired, "Why is that?" Isumong replied, "Hey, just give up. You should be grateful for being alive after such disobedience." Dongi reassured, "Brother, it's okay. Let's just go back." Gwiyoung and Dongi then left the government office. Isumong questioned, "Why didn't you tell him?" Sejong explained, "It's too shameless." As Dongi and Gwiyoung walked back to their house, Dongi expressed her concerns, saying, "Brother, she won't let you do as you please like before. Do you expect me to be brought in by a noble house alone? By selling yourself?" Gwiyoung asked, "Why do you say it like that? You two know all of the details." Dongi replied, "Well, she would consider it if you would come with me." Gwiyoung shared, 5 years ago, the day the barbarians killed both our parents, he made a promise with father, that he would protect you no matter what. Dongi said, "Don't worry about me, you've already protected me for a long time, haven't you? It's great to have you by my side, brother." Gwiyoung expressed, "I also feel great to be with you." Suddenly, an arrow narrowly missed Gwiyoung and hit Dongi. Seeing that, Gwiyoung worriedly exclaimed, "Dongi." Group of barbarians approached, and the leader of the barbarian group stated he missed. He continued, "The one you killed, Makan, he was strong but dumb, but thanks to him, we were able to track you down, Gwiyoung." Meanwhile, Gwiyoung reassured, "I got you, Dongi. Don't worry." The barbarian questioned, "What's the matter with him all of a sudden? Is he out of his mind?" Dongi warned, "Brother, behind you." As the barbarian attacked Gwiyoung, the attack was blocked by Isumong. While questioning Gwiyoung, Isumong said, "What is this?" Gwiyoung asked Dongi if she was fine, and she replied, "Brother, I'm okay." The barbarian laughed, saying, "Another run to kill. You should have thought before taking action, so die now." However, the barbarian was instantly killed by Isumong, leaving the remaining barbarians surprised. Isumong addressed Gwiyoung, stating, "Hey, Gwiyoung again? You really want to die?" Gwiyoung, while crying, conveyed that Dongi was dead. The barbarians began talking among themselves, expressing shock at Isumong's presence. One barbarian said, "Wait, that man is Isumong." The second asked, "What, Isumong?" Third questioned, "No way, why is he here?" The fourth stated, "You saw too, the swordsmanship." The leader of the barbarian group decided, "Retreat, everyone fall back." Isumong questioned, "Hey, what are you doing?" Not receiving a response from Gwiyoung, Isumong loudly demanded, "Hey, I asked you a question." Gwiyoung declared, "I'll kill every last one of them." He then ran behind the barbarians with a sword in hand. The barbarian leader thought, "No way, Isumong." Isumong, the man said to be equal to Choi Yundiak, wondered why this man was in the northern regions and felt the need to spread the word. Gwiyoung approached from behind, cutting one of the barbarian's arms, saying, "That hand held the bow." The barbarian turned around, exclaiming, "You bastard." Meanwhile, Gwiyoung used the sword to cut the remaining arm and said, "This hand pulled the bowstring." Gwiyoung then punched the barbarian, causing him to fall to the ground. Gwiyoung pointed the sword in front of the barbarian's eye and said, "And this I aimed for my sister?" A little while later, Sejong asked Isumong if he was sure Gwiyoung went that way. Isumong confirmed, stating that Gwiyoung went after the enemy chief, so he was certain. He also mentioned a critical problem with giving Gwiyoung the position of informer. Sejong commented that Gwiyoung was approaching, remarking that the term ghost shadow suited him well. Isumong called out to Gwiyoung, who was taken aback when he saw his sister alive. Gwiyoung questioned Dongi, asking how it was possible. Dongi explained that the Majesty himself had come and saved her and inquired if Gwiyoung had been hurt. Gwiyoung expressed gratitude to the Majesty. Sejong asked Gwiyoung if he was happy to see his sister alive. Unsuspectingly, Sejong unsheathed the sword of Isumong and swung it at Dongi, stating that she was around here, right? Meanwhile, Gwiyoung questioned Sejong actions, asking what he was doing. Sejong asked if he had slashed Dongi, correctly and questioned how it was. He added that she would revive anyway. Confused, Gwiyoung asked Sejong what he was saying, using profanity. Sejong urged Gwiyoung to think and reminded him of the invasion 5 years ago by the Jurchen. He revealed that Gwiyoung was the only survivor, and his sister had died that day. Sejong emphasized that what Gwiyoung was holding at that moment was nothing. Gwiyoung looked down at his arm, realizing that Dongyi was not there. He exclaimed, Dongyi! Dongyi! Where are you? Sejong interjected, saying, Gwiyoung, I have investigated all the rumors surrounding you. They all suggest that you are unable to cope with the loss of your sister to the barbarians and that you have lost your sanity. Gwiyoung responded, What nonsense! You all saw it. We were together, even in the village that was massacred and at the government office. Everyone witnessed it with their own eyes. Gwiyoung turned to General Lee Soon-mong and asked, You also saw it, right? Even when I was hit by the barbarian arrow earlier? Lee Soon-mong replied, No, throughout the day, you have been alone. Gwiyoung then remembered what everyone had said to him earlier. Lee Soon-mong questioned, Hey, what are you really doing right now? The barbarians questioned, What's wrong with this guy? Why is he suddenly acting crazy? At the government office, Gwiyoung found himself alone, engaging in self-dialogue, leaving bystanders perplexed. Lee Soon-mong interrupted, stating, Your sister was never there. Gwiyoung recalled his father's words, You must protect Dongyi. Whatever happens, Gwiyoung, you must protect your sister. Suddenly, the barbarian killed his father right in front of him while Gwiyoung and his sister hide under a nearby house. A little later, Gwiyoung was running away from the barbarians. He thought to himself, he is not going to let them get him. One day, he will kill them. He stopped abruptly when he saw Grandpa Kong. Old Kong exclaimed, It's you! Gwiyoung! You're safe, you're alive. But how come? Is it only you and Dongyi? Are you the only two who made it out of the village? What about your mother and father? Gwiyoung replied, Those bastards dragged away mother and killed father. And under the floor, Old Kong interrupted him, saying, Enough, it's fine. It's fine if you two made it alive. Suddenly, Old Kong noticed an arrow that had hit Dongyi while Gwiyoung was running away from the barbarians. He exclaimed, She's still breathing. Gwiyoung reached for the arrow, but Old Kong stopped him, saying, You can't pull it out. There's a boat that I've ridden by the quay. If we take that, we'll be able to slip past the barbarians to the next village over. We need to see a physician as quickly as possible and get treatment. Just as Old Kong finished speaking, an arrow pierced his head and killing him. Gwiyoung looked in the direction from where the arrow came and saw barbarians approaching. Gwiyoung quickly picked Dongyi up on his back and started to run away from them. The barbarian leader commanded, After him. Gwiyoung placed Dongyi on the boat and began to cross the river with haste. Dongyi called out, Brother! Gwiyoung reassured her, saying, Hold on a bit, Dongyi. I'll save you. One of the barbarians exclaimed, We lost him. The second barbarian suggested, It seems like little child, so should we just go? However, the barbarian leader ordered, Shoot a fire arrow. Leave no room for doubt. Shoot a fire arrow. An arrow struck the boat, causing Gwiyoung to look up and see a large number of arrows approaching. He swiftly moved towards Dongyi to shield her from the incoming arrows. One by one, the arrows hit the boat, ultimately destroying it and causing Gwiyoung and Dongyi to fall into the water. Gwiyoung desperately tried to save his sister, but his efforts were in vain. In the present, Gwiyoung shouted, No, Dongyi, no! Sejong apologized, saying, I'm sorry for failing to protect your sister, your parents, your village, for failing to protect them all. It's something I should have done as ruler, but I couldn't. So blame me, and blame this nation, for not doing anything. Unburden yourself from the guilt of failing to protect your family and let go of your sister now. Dongyi stated, Brother, it hurts a lot, right? Gwiyoung acknowledged, I see, my dear Dongyi, my sister. Since that day, you haven't grown at all. Dongyi expressed her gratitude, saying, Brother, thank you, and then disappeared. Gwiyoung started to cry again. Sejong spoke to him, saying, Gwiyoung resentment and hatred, if he could forget all of it and live an ordinary life, Sejong pledged to make that happen. However, if Gwiyoung were to live the rest of his life with that rage in his heart, catching cows and pigs like a butcher, then Sejong vowed to open up a better path for him. A northern spearhead, the most elite organization created only to confront the Jurchens, was proposed, that's the informer. Gwiyoung was presented with the idea of becoming an informer and using his rage to protect the nation and its people, in what Sejong acknowledged as a shameless request from the king. Upon hearing this, Gwiyoung inquired, "Can you find that man?" Sejong sought clarification, asking, "What man?" Gwiyoung responded, "I've recalled it. The one who burnt down his village, killed my family, killed Dongi, that man." Sejong then advised, "Accept this. Come carrying the jade plaque with you when winter passes and we recruit the royal forces. If you do that, you'll be able to reach me immediately. And from that moment then, you'll become an informer." The women exclaimed, "Bakesuk is here," and Gwiyoung expressed admiration, stating, "Wow, that looks delicious. Here Dongi, eat up." In his thoughts, he realized, he forgot she disappeared. Sunmon declared, "I'll eat it." "Have you been well, Gwiyoung?" In response, Gwiyoung questioned, "General Sunmon, what brought you here?" Sunmon politely requested, "Ma'am, please give me some tokju. There's no alcohol after setting a table. Do you live without knowing the joy of life? Do you still see your sister?" Gwiyoung sadly replied, "No, not anymore." Sunmon sympathetically acknowledged, "I see. Have a drink, Gwiyoung. You sent your sister off, and it's your first step to becoming an adult." Gwiyoung humbly responded, "I'm still a bit young." "General, you, along with General Choi Yundeok, are famous figures, leading as Joseon's best swords." Curious, Gwiyoung asked, "But what's the reason that you're paying this much attention to someone like him?" Sunmon explained, "I like interesting fellows. He was also the one to find out about you with His Majesty's order. It's interesting, from having the ability to kill others at that age to the countless records earned from that name." Gwiyoung inquired about his nickname, Ghost Shadow. Sunmon proudly confirmed, "That's right, GWI from Gwishin to Young from Shadow. Isn't that amazing?" Gwiyoung then shared the meaning of his own name, GWI, Hanjafor Precious, and Young, Hanjafor Welcome, that's his name. Sunmon apologized, stating that it was his nature not to think deeply about his original thoughts. However, he urged Gwiyoung not to forget the past and emphasized that the future would require a journey to clean up that past and move forward on a new path. Sunmon suggested that Gwiyoung and he have a bowl together, and cheer on Gwiyoung's new life, offering a warm welcome. Gwiyoung agreed and drank the bowl. Sunmon commented on Gwiyoung's swift intoxication, leading to his prompt slumber, stating that the ghost shadow had not yet become an adult. Sunmon had expected it to take more time but found it uninteresting because it was too easy. While Sunmon searched Gwiyoung, he discovered a jade plaque. Upon leaving, he quipped, "Didn't I tell you, Gwiyoung? I appreciate interesting fellows." He urged Gwiyoung to have some fun and instructed others not to disturb the sleeping individual. Later that night, Gwiyoung woke up and realized it was already dark. He wondered if General Sunmon had left. Remembering Sunmon's words about not forgetting the past and the journey to clean it up, Gwiyoung affirmed that he wouldn't forget and saw it as just the beginning. He believed that the recruitment of the royal forces, mentioned by the king, had begun and understood that it involved picking informers. Gwiyoung vowed to become an informer and seek revenge for Dongi. Gwiyoung became confused as he didn't find the jade plaque, and realized it was gone. The jade plaque the king gave him had disappeared. The scene shifted to a person saying, "Is this really the place? What kind of royal forces recruitment is held up in the mountains?" The second person said, "Man, I said it's here. Can't you even tell just by looking at the people gathered here? Looks like everyone from this area has gathered here." The first person asked, "Just how many people is this? The chance of making it does seem slim. Looks like there'll be one person ranking below me at least." The second person said, "Wait, even a child like that has applied? Goodness." Meanwhile, Gwiyoung delved deeper into his thoughts, contemplating the absence of the jade plaque. The old person said, "All right, next. Who and where are you from?" Gwiyoung said, "I'm from Mucheong, and my name's Gwiyoung." However, he had actually come after getting a jade plaque but lost it on the way there. The old man asked, "If it's a jade plaque, then it's for a transfer that doesn't need to take the test, but a child like you has that? What sort of person gave you that plaque?" Gwiyoung said, "Yes, well, the king gave it to me." The old man said, "Crazy fellow, take him out." The person introduced him as Kim Jang, the charge of the Northern Royal Forces recruitment. He assured them that while the conditions for selection were great, the selection standards were even stricter. He explained that the organization they were choosing to join was completely different from existing standards and emphasized the dangerous nature of the mission they would be expected to carry out. He made it clear that luck and tricks would not be enough to succeed in this endeavor. Kim Jang expressed his disbelief at someone who spoke nonsense about losing the king's jade plaque and warned that this mission would be too much for him to handle. He decided to begin the first test immediately, which involved retrieving a red feathered arrow from the top of the mountain. However, he informed them that there were only 10 arrows available, while there were currently 30 participants. He asked if they understood the situation. After the start of the first test, Kim Jang noticed Gwiyoung standing and called him out, asking what he was doing. Gwiyoung quickly apologized, explaining that he was just surprised. Ordered by Kim Jang to run instantly, Gwiyoung obediently responded, "Yes, sir." While in motion, Gwiyoung lamented, "Damn it. How did I lose the jade plaque? With 10 arrows, do I have to secure a place within the 10th position? I've fallen so far behind, will I be able to catch up?" Observing people unconscious on the ground, Gwiyoung halted in confusion and inquired, "What is this?" Simultaneously, an assailant swung a wooden stick from behind. Gwiyoung, startled, replied, "You scared me." The Dumak explained, the supervisor mentioned 10 arrows, but he never said there'd be 10 to pass. "Let's knock out those we can see, chase out others, and steal the arrows from the ones coming down the mountain. Do you even understand what we're saying? The ones to pass are just us 4. Despite a rushed attack, as the Dumak swung a wooden stick, Gwiyoung skillfully snatched it and struck him with it in return. Gwiyoung inquired, "Just how did you guys come up with such a brilliant idea?" Gwiyoung critiqued, "It's a rotten branch. It just looks flashy, but in reality, it doesn't have much of an impact. You shouldn't have brought such a lousy weapon after coming up with such a brilliant plan." Dumak exclaimed, "This is unbelievable. What are the rest of you doing? Beat him up right now." At another exam site, an individual asserted, "You punk, don't push me, I'm first." Lee Soon-mong inquired, "Has General Choi also come?" General Choi directed, "Lee Soon-mong, why did you even come stand next to me? Go stand over there." Lee Soon-mong commented, "Wow, quite a lot have gathered. It's extremely crowded." General Choi explained, "There's no choice. If it goes well, not only can they finish their military service in a blink of an eye, they can even get a chance for Myeongkian, where they won't even have to worry about hiding their identity." Lee Soon-mong observed, "The conditions His Majesty has offered are quite unprecedented." General Choi affirmed, "That's just how serious he is about establishing informers this time." Lee Soon-mong inquired, "Let's see, where's our little Gwiyoung? Is that him?" "No," General Choi asked, "Gwiyoung, are you talking about the child that Majesty personally bestowed a jade plaque on last winter? I'm sure those with jade plaques are gathered elsewhere." Lee Soon-mong stated, "Yes, well, that's true. It's due to some circumstances that he had to partake in this test himself," Lee Soon-mong explained. Expressing disbelief, General Cole found it ridiculously absurd for a child like Gwiyoung to possess a jade plaque, emphasizing that such privileges were reserved for the elite informers dispatched by the king to the northern region. He questioned whether Gwiyoung had the right to hold such an honor. In response, Lee Soon-mong defended Gwiyoung's eligibility, citing his exceptional talents and physical prowess. Lee Soon-mong highlighted Gwiyoung's history of successfully navigating pillaging sites and fending off barbarians since the age of 12. He stressed the significance of practical battle experience for a swordsman, combining it with Gwiyoung's innate talent, making him a heaven-sent talent. During an attack, Gwiyoung skillfully dodged and retaliated, poking one attacker's eye. Another assailant attempted a sneak attack from behind, but Gwiyoung evaded and delivered a powerful kick to the groin, causing considerable pain. A confident third attacker approached, exclaiming, "Got you, you little..." Striking at Gwiyoung's face, the impact shattered the branch. Gwiyoung reiterated the ineffectiveness of a flashy but rotten branch, and the third person dismissed it as nonsense. Despite Dumak's encouragement to disregard the rotten branch and finish Gwiyoung, when the third person attempted another attack, Gwiyoung responded with a powerful punch, causing the assailant to crash to the ground. Confidently, Gwiyoung acknowledged the impact of a rotten branch, explaining its effectiveness as a weapon that eliminates the need for multiple strikes. He asserted that just one strike could render someone unconscious. Dumak exclaimed, "Wait, fine. I got it. I'll take back what I said earlier. The successful candidates are us too. What do you say?" Gwiyoung replied, Well, is that necessary? If it's with your logic, brother, it's all over if I'm the only one to pass, isn't it? Dumak retorted, foolish child. No matter how incredible you are, do you think you can handle the rest of them alone? It's possible if it's the two of us. Look at these muscles. Aren't they trustworthy? And I'm not a brother. You're strong, but you're lacking the resourcefulness as a child. You'll need a tactician. Oh dear child, what's your name? He replied, it's Gwiyoung. Dumak pondered, Gwiyoung. I feel like I've heard that name before. In any case, it's a good name. Alright, I've always dreamt of this sort of development. Gwiyoung, be my associate. A little later, Gwiyoung asked, what do you think, Dumak? Dumak responded, there isn't even a single rat in sight. Gwiyoung expressed concern, that's strange. It's well past the time when the ones who have reached the top of the mountain first should be returning already. What do we do, Dumak? In response, Dumak stated, well, it seems that something must have happened at the top. We won't know for sure unless we've gone up ourselves. Gwiyoung agreed, indeed, Dumak, you're right. Dumak suggested, it'll be a good idea to reach the top of the mountain before the sunset, so let's hurry. In his thoughts, Dumak muttered, yeah, go, you ignorant punk. My plan's all gone up in smoke because I met someone like you. Gwiyoung urged, hurry up and come, Dumak. Confused, Dumak asked, me too? Gwiyoung responded, of course, you're not going to come? You said we should be associates. Dumak commented, he's a punk I don't really get, and I wonder how it's possible he could even get that strong at his young age too. But it's a relief that he seems a bit dull. He's still just a naive greenhorn. If I just use him well, then he'll be the weapon to use while taking this test. A little while later, Gwiyoung announced, we're here, it's the top. Dumak complained, I said we should rest a bit as we go, you punk. The Sejong asked, you're late, are you two the last ones? What sort of petty tricks did you pull at the base of the mountain for you to just climb it now? Dumak observed the chaos and questioned the presence of a supervisor at the top. Gwiyoung, spotting a jade plaque on the supervisor, excitedly identified it. Sejong inquired if Gwiyoung comprehended the significance behind his welcoming demeanor. Gwiyoung shared his own history with a jade plaque, expressing the challenges he faced after losing it. Sejong accused Gwiyoung of discussing the jade plaque and questioned his knowledge of its existence. Emphasizing that the jade plaque signified acknowledgement by the king as the king's sword, Sejong dismissed Gwiyoung's right to speak about it. Dumak commented on Sejong's harsh words and assumed that he was from a Yangban household, questioning why he was acting like a supervisor in that place. Dumak mentioned that the test had a special condition where they weren't checking one's status, and questioned why Sejong was nitpicking at Gwiyoung's lowly and crude nature when strength should be enough. Sejong then challenged both Gwiyoung and Dumak to come at him at the same time, stating that if they were acknowledged by him, they could take an arrow. Dumak instructed Gwiyoung not to step up, as it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to punish a Yangban bastard without worries. Dumak rushed forward, swinging his sword, but Sejong adeptly dodged, gracefully stepping backward. Persisting in his attack, Sejong skillfully blocked Dumak's strikes. Dumak taunted, what do you think? The swordsmanship of a crude bastard is pretty spicy, isn't it? Because Yangban punks are raised preciously, you probably don't have any muscles either. I'll make you kneel like this. Sejong calmly replied, I didn't even have any expectations from the start. But as expected. Sejong landed a hit on Dumak, causing him to attempt to counter, yet Sejong effortlessly evaded. Subsequently, Sejong struck Dumak's leg, sending him crashing to the ground. Despite Dumak's efforts to rise, he received another precise hit from Sejong. He admonished, if you have lowly origins, then have a decent character at least. If your character is lowly, then humble yourself at least. If your skills are crude, then be careful at least. The confrontation between Sejong and Dumak was halted when Gwiyoung interjected, let's stop that here. Aren't you being too harsh? What about this looks like a royal force selection? Are you really intending on killing him amongst fellow people of Joseon? Sejong swiftly grabbed Gwiyoung by the neck, unbalancing him and causing him to fall. Sejong asserted, I told you already, that if your skills are crude, you should be careful. As Sejong raised his hand to strike Gwiyoung with his wooden sword, he realized it was missing. Gwiyoung revealed, looking for this. Sejong pondered, at what moment did he grab it from his hand? Dumak acknowledged, although his character is a bit lousy, his skills aren't crude at all. Meanwhile, Gwiyoung targeted Sejong's leg with the wooden sword, inflicting pain. This concludes the first part of this manhwa. For second part, comment 2 in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for further updates.